So, hello, welcome to Brad and Lola. It's Bruno and Tina, the founders of Brad and Lola, and here we're all about juicy and vibrant and alive relationships. So, the question that we come here and something came to us and asked this question, that's why we're doing this video, is how can we maintain the spark in our relationship, right? And I think this is very common on a lot of relationships and also on Tina's ex-marriage, right? That the passion fades away after a certain period of time, right? And I want to say that, the best thing to have in the world is a juicy and vibrant relationship where you feel you love your partner, but you also feel this spark and this juice, and you have amazing sex and fulfilling intimacy and vibrant, sexuality, and that's the best. So how can we keep that after so many years of being together, right? After knowing each other, and I think Tina has a lot to say about this, and she always talks, and we talk about it in our products as well, is this beginner's mind and this also playful side that we all have, that maybe we have forgotten, and as well this innocence, and also getting to know our partner again over and over again, and also living day by day. I think those are the points that we're going to touch in this video.
Perfect. I think what you said before already is one thing. One thing is super important because this get lost is the priority of it.
Good.
Yeah. So making it a priority is an important quality. It sounds like very clear, yet it isn't. So when you think the spark will naturally simply fall back into your bed, probably not. She or he wants me in some days or weeks as she did before, or as he did before? Probably not. So what has happened? Probably your conversations has changed, or maybe you never had a good communication, so this depends on you. It's about having a good, transparent, open, vulnerable, deep communication with each other. So what is really going on inside of you? Letting the person know about your desires, your pain points, what you are missing, what you're lacking, what you're frustrated about. And this can be about things in a relationship or even outside. So not keeping anything from your partner. This is what we want to create. We want to create a deep connection that we truly see each other, see into the other, into me, see. Because this is actually necessary to have an intimacy, what is truly nourishing, what goes deep into the core, what lets the other in on you. The thing is that it might be that you even don't know your partner and your body and your arousal and your turn-ons and all the erogenous zones you have on your body. You haven't explored yourself. And there's nothing wrong. It's simply because we go into a relationship and probably we have not so much clue about all of this. Maybe you have experiences, yet there is some kind of default. Let's kiss, let's get aroused, let's get wet or horny and a hard dick, and then let's go in bed or on the sofa or in the kitchen, and then there's intercourse or penetration. In the best case, both have an orgasm, and that's it.
That's what we call the default.
That's
what we call the default. And here in Brad and Lola, we are not about defaults. We are about a nourishing, sensual, and juicy relationship, intimacy.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And so we want to experience this because this is truly nourishing instead of like maybe a second fulfilling, a second satisfying. But when you, especially women over 35, 40, coming way more in this era of a more sensual intimacy, way more sensual being, the body changes and
there's different needs.
Yeah, different
because it
needs
works
and
differently.
and also the body. Like when I started this journey 12 years ago, I remember that I had actually no clue. So we think we have the clue and we want to have the clue. This is our ego. Yet actually you find out that you have no clue about your body. And then it's like, okay, let me simply learn something. This needs humility, and this needs openness, and this needs a beginner's mindset to, okay, let me learn about it. And nobody taught us, so there is nothing wrong.
And you don't have to know to have a vibrant relationship and a nourishing intimacy, passionate intimacy. You don't have to know, right? And that's also good. right? That's also bringing peace. There's not something that I have to know to have a nourishing connection and intimacy in bed or whatever, right? And that's also my case personally. I'm still learning a lot of stuff, right? And I'm gonna say I have no clue still, but I know some things. Tina is the expert here, okay? I'm the expert on honest communication, emotional intelligence. That's my part, and also polarity, I guess. But Tina is the expert on the whole. She's the Scorpio here. I'm just the Gemini with Cancer moon, so it's all about emotional intelligence. No, but what I was saying that yes, you have to understand how your body works. What is what you need? Where are your arousal points? How you get turned on? How you get wet? Is it more a sexual way? Is it a sensual way? Is it a kinky way? Like all these things are very important. Like what do I need to have a fulfilling intimacy? And it's not just pleasing my partner, right? It's my responsibility. I wanna have a fulfilling intimacy. And if I'm focused on the other person, what about me, right? And communication also in sex, right? But let's not get about our out of the topic. But you see, there's so many things you have to learn outside of the default that we are taught through what? Pornography. Television. How many shows have you seen and you see what they are doing in bed?
Yeah.
But that's actually not the reality. That's a show, that's a movie. But we have never get taught anything about how to have a nourishing intimacy. We see it on the movies, on the TV shows, we see it on pornography. That's where we learn, and then we replicate, because that's what we do as human beings. We learn through watching, and then we do what we think, but that's not the reality here, okay? So that's why in Brad and Lola, we teach you guys ways into learning and relearning this new type of sexuality. That it's such a profound and deep playground that we have to learn, right?
And the word playground is the best for everything. Talking about how to maintain is the thing what we said, the conversations to create connection. Then work around the polarity, what mostly gets lost over time. So then your perfect body, perfect team, perfect amazing roommates, you love each other. Yet the polarity is gone. This is what's lacking to then have beautiful intimacy when you want to feel the spark and the passion again. So this is the second thing. And then it comes to the intimacy, where we can explore talking about playfulness and beginner's mindset, what is obviously a conscious choice when you are so long together. So when you're so long together and there is a default of everyone thinks, what the other likes and don't like and how this works and how we did it before and can we have it as we did it 5 years ago. So this is all very mental and it's already too much default.
And here, coming into the play, what does a kid? We have a baby, Tina and I, and what he does, he's exploring. And every day is new because, I want to explore this and that. And that's how you keep things alive and maintain the relationship passion, because it's always new, right? If you lock in, for example, 2 hours, let's lock 2 hours this day and giving us the time to connect, to have intimacy. But we don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
And that's already, okay, what's going to happen? What's going to do today, right? And then you're in bed and you're taking this time. 2 hours, there's maybe you just use half an hour or 1 hour, doesn't matter. But at least you have 2 hours to explore. That's just a practical tip. Then you just play, okay, today we're going to try this and try that. And it's such fun. And you will need different things depending on the time of the year, on how you feel today and your emotional state. Sometimes, especially women, as men, we want the intercourse, we want the penetration. That's what we want as men. But women are not like that. So the partner, the man, has to check in with the woman. How do you feel today, right? Do you want a more, cuddling experience? Just touching and hugging. Or do you want to, go hard or whatever, right? It depends. It depends on the emotional state of the woman. And also, let's take into account also as men, how we feel, right? We also have another way of intimacy that is not just my dick and getting up and that's it. There's my whole body. And men especially haven't experienced and haven't explored that. So You know, there's so many things to learn, and that's the good part, that there's so many things to learn. There's so many things to go deeper, and it won't, you know, finish.
Get boring. Yeah.
And so you will always be able to maintain, and not only maintain, but deepen. So that's what we're teaching here in Brad and Lola. It's not about maintaining here. Here is about deepening and going, how much deep can I go with my partner, right? But let's go back to the before Tina, because I'm excited for the video. There's 3 parts, as you are seeing. First is the connection. So if I'm working all the time on the connection, like that's every day, I'm sharing what's going on in my head, what's going on my heart, how am I feeling, what am I thinking about. I'm participating my partner on my life. What are my projects? What are my ideas? I'm thinking of this. I'm struggling with this. You know, I see a lot of couples that live different lives, and they don't share anything. Oh, look at what this woman, like a man, look at this woman, what said to me, right? Ooh. Or, oh, I'm thinking about this business idea. That's what I like to talk about. Or, oh, this happened to me. You know, make your partner participate on your life, right? And share. And that communication and bringing your partner on your life, not just living 2 separate lives and living in the same house, is going to create the connection. And then we can talk about ourselves. We can talk about so many things. We were actually focusing on, you know, communicating about our needs, our desires, what we're missing. That's also part of the equation here. But you see, the communication and the honest communication, the transparent communication, is going to keep the connection, you know, the connection going. And that's what we want. We want to maintain that connection all the time. And then we can add up the second pillar. So once we have the connection going, which is the first pillar that we work on our connection intimacy code, then you go to the polarity, to the attraction. Okay, now that we have the connection going, how can we get this pull, this desire towards each other? And that's working around the archetypes of the man and the woman, right? We're different species. Let's be clear. A woman is different from a man, and we have to understand how we work. And to leave the man the role of the man, and to leave the woman the role of the woman. We are not equal, right? The equality of women and men, that's not here. That's not how it happened here in Brad and Lola. Because how are gonna be lemons the same as apples? No, we cannot make lemons and apples. I just pick up 2 fruits, but you know the example here. So learn what a man is and what a woman is. And especially the woman, because everything starts with the woman. So the woman has to do a lot of work here on coming back to her feminine essence, okay? And leaving space to the man to have his masculine essence. And don't be pushy, don't expect, because that's actually being the mother, right? There's so many things to work around this, and to, you know, create that energies. Because those energies, when the man feels masculine, feels he can lead the woman, he feels this masculinity, and the woman is like, oh, I like it, right? And then the woman, when she's this sensual and she's relaxed and she's slow, and the man is like, oh, I like it. A man always likes a woman that is, you know, sensual, right? Not this masculine, oh, let's keep going. That's not a feminine essence, that's masculine essence, right? And that's what we see a lot today. Anyways, so working on those polarities, so the woman going back to this sensual, feminine, slow essence, and then the man in this masculine, you know, leading role, then, ooh, here we have some juice here, but of course this has to go somewhere. So again, we have the connection with the honest communication, we have the juice here with the attraction and polarity, and then we come to the next step, which is the last one, which is what we're wanting, is this nourishing intimacy. So how can we, now that we have the attraction, work on an intimacy that is more playful, that is more sensual, more nourishing, and it's not the default that we've been taught. And there's nothing more to say. What can we say? What can we say? But anyways, that's actually what we teach. We teach this connection and intimacy code, and you have different services in our website, but all of them are based on this connection and intimacy code. It's different ways, and depending on where you are on your journey, depending on your budget right now, there's different ways that you can learn this connection and intimacy code. And there's always these 3 pillars. So just remember that if you already apply what we said, you're already on your way of maintaining and deepening your connection. Of course, if then you want to learn ways into bringing more spark, more vibrance, more connection, more intimacy to your relationship, then we're here to support you. And as always, we say leave in the comments if you have your case, if you have asked any questions for us. We love, this is our passion, so we love to hear what you have to say, and we love to support you on your journey. So we will do a video answering your questions.